Well, if you wanted them two to get back together, then that's a happy ending for you guys. And I played the game that way. Played it that way, as that they should be together. 5 years later. What is that, a baby crow? How'd they get a baby crow? I guess that they were victorious in their war. The Bloodless King. That little cutscene there would seem to indicate that everything was a-okay in their world. I don't understand the baby crow, though. I don't know if I missed something or what.
Tried to get out of here for years. No longer
I'm gonna guess this is back in Casablanca. Zoe's home. Aw.
will I just disappear?
There's Wonkers.
I'm getting scared.
She's pregnant.
My heart starts pounding.
Okay.
I try to scream, but there's no sound. I am falling. I'm falling. When will my feet hit the ground? I am falling. I'm falling. But I'm not going down.
Hey, you.
Am I awake or am I dreaming?
Baby Papa. Okay. Oh, we're just going through these achievements here at the end of the game. Epilogue. Those who walk between worlds. A long, long time from now. The house is still there. Is this Saga as Lady Alvane?
Every year, it gets colder. Now let's see if we can't put some life into you.
Oh my gosh. Goals updated. Rekindle the fire. So, those of you who have played The Longest Journey, the first game that came out, what was it, the late 90s? Is that when that game came out? It's what, almost 20 years ago? I believe, if I remember correctly, the game starts out with Lady Alvane, and please correct me if I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, please forgive me. But I seem to remember, I think the game starts out with Lady Alvane sitting and telling someone a story. And I believe they're sitting in front of a fire, so I'm like, was it in this house? If so, that is freaking cool, man. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that.
It's such a beautiful design, and it keeps the house anchored in perfect balance between all worlds and all times. Will this continue to work when our family is all gone? Mama and Papa always said the house is a living thing, so maybe it'll live on without us. I hope the house can stand forever as a bridge between worlds. The multiverse would be poorer without it.
What's this? A memento.
One of the Sylphan worlds. Beautiful and peaceful, as always. So naturally, I grew bored again. One of the Sylphan worlds.
Okay. Let's see. The painting. Let's stand back and look at the painting.
One of my older works. I must have painted that when I was in my late teens. Come to think of it, that was an actual place. I visited there to get in touch with my ancestry. It was a strange powerful experience. One of my old... Come to think of it.
Oh, we can touch it or
was an
something.
actual place. One of my older works.
What happens if we touch it?
I won't mess with this one, but I think I'd like to revisit this particular scene in a painting. Perhaps something that goes further back, to the beginning of the journey. Dragons and dreams.
I'm not really sure I understand what she's saying.
I won't mess with this one. Come to think of it, that one of my older works.
So this skull
I
here,
must have painted that when I was in my late teens.
this looks familiar to me, but I can't place it. I don't remember where I saw it. Wasn't there like skulls that you could throw and they would explode? Is that in this game or a different game? I don't know, man. I play a lot of games.
The dead walked in that world. They were exceedingly polite, but it still creeped me out no end.
I think I'm thinking of Dark Souls. There were these skulls that floated, and when you walked by them, they would explode. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
The dead walked in that world.
So I don't know what she's talking about. Oh, here's the spear right here. Look,
polite,
stick.
but
She
it
has the
still
spear.
creeped me
The
out
silver
no
soul,
end.
the silver spear of Goramon.
One day, I'll get rid of that accursed thing. It's stained with the blood of dragons, but it's too dangerous to simply discard.
Yeah, agreed. It's too dangerous. Boy, it's hard to focus on it and it alone.
The silver spear of Goramon, older than the twin worlds, forged in the fires of the first earth, created for one purpose, the destruction of magic. Some days I use it as a walking staff. If we do end up taking one last journey, it'll probably be because of this blasted stick. One day, I'll get rid of that accursed... I don't much like holding it anymore. It's thick with the blood of dragons, and heavy with broken dreams. I don't much like holding it anymore.
Here's another memento.
I prefer my worlds three-dimensional, thank you very much.
So I guess this is just different worlds in the multiverse that she's visited.
I prefer my
We may
worlds
very well not know anything about them.
Thank you very much.
Just kind of window dressing here.
One of my favorite worlds, vast and beautiful. It took me days to walk there, across treacherous song lines, avoiding discordants and bell strikers. I probably would never have gone unless I picked up those rumors about a Midgardian woman who suddenly appeared in the City of Three Moons. I thought
What?
I was hoping I'd find her there, but the woman had left years before. I stayed a while. It was a wonderful place, but I grew bored, as I always do.
Did I click on this one more?
I prefer my
Yes, okay.
worlds three-dimensional, thank you very much.
I can't make her run. Another painting. Let's have her back up here.
Our bloodless king. He did not enjoy that throne, but he never complained. Not to me, at least. Even my endless teasing couldn't faze him. Oh, Kian, I miss you dearly. Not a day goes by when I don't think of you. He's been gone so long. I have a hard time recalling his voice and smile. I loved him with all my heart. I always will. My dearest Kian, I miss our long conversations. I even miss how every single one of my jokes passed over your head.
I know that Kian is a fictional character, but it's still sad to think that in this fictional world right now, he's been dead a very long time.
My dearest Kian.
Okay, so that's all she has to say about
Our
that.
bloodless king. Oh, Kian.
Here's another picture.
Not bad for a 7-year-old with no idea of what was happening to her and why she was having such vivid dreams. Arcadia, Crow, the Rolling Man. The beginning of a long, long journey.
Indeed.
That's her story, experienced with my own eyes. I still can't wrap my head round that one. I'll leave them up. After all, Papa isn't around to tell me to clean up and bring them to my room. I'll leave them up. After all, brave Zoe. It couldn't have been easy getting caught up in events and wanting nothing more than a quiet, normal life. I believe her daughter is still alive in the continuity, along with her grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
It has been a long time.
Brave Zoe.
Okay.
From what I've heard, she lived a long and fulfilling life. And I know she passed the dream on, or all this wouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've heard, she lived a long... Hugsy. He's the only creature in this little world of ours older than me. I used to think he spoke to me. And I do believe I was right about that. There's a spirit inside him, old and shy. I think Mama put him there to watch over me when she was traveling. I'll have to make sure Hugsy is free to leave before my time comes. Oh, dear old Hugsy. You're barely holding together. Oh, dear old Hugsy. You're barely holding together.
You gonna say something to Hugsy?
What's that, Hugsy? You miss Papa? I miss him too, old buddy. I'll release you when the time comes. And you can float on the winds until you find another stuffed toy in another little girl's room. What's that, Hugsy? You miss Papa? I miss him too, old buddy.
Oh, this is neat.
Now that my life's winding down, I feel like I'm just beginning to understand song lines. But at least here they are, charted and documented. Someone may benefit from my experiences.
That is a cool chart, man.
Perhaps I'll take one final walk along a winding path and listen to the songs and stories. Perhaps when the spring between worlds thaws the frost on the turnstiles. There's one passing right through this room now. I think I've heard this song line before. It beckons me. But I have shortbread in the oven, and my guest will be here soon.
I guess her guest is going to be one of Zoe's great-grandchildren, maybe? I don't know.
I would so like to go, but not now. Not today.
That is a really cool effect on this thing. I really like it.
I would so like to go. This was April's. I'm not sure how that's possible or how it ended up here, but I feel her presence in this. I mean, I always feel her presence. That's inevitable. But there is something about this talisman. The beginning and the end will connect. They always do. So much energy. Her chi is in this. So much energy.
April.
It's hard sometimes to separate my own memories from what I've read and heard. April's journeys are vivid to me, but also dreamlike. I've spent so many years trying to make sense of our connection. I don't think I ever will. She's a part of me, and she always will be. But how and why? That's a mystery. Someday, at the very end, maybe we will meet face to face before the cycle begins anew. Someday, at the very end, maybe we will... His feathers are a lot grayer these days, poor thing. He hates growing old even more than I do. Did I pluck it? He never sheds, or if he does, he hides it well.
I mean, is she talking about crow? Like that baby crow?
My lucky feather from my best friend and faithful companion. His feathers are a lot... I'll leave it be. I'll leave it be.
Oh, a guitar.
Thank the worlds I learned to play the guitar, or I might never have discovered the song lines. When I play, I see ghosts of old songs in the air, guiding me to paths and new worlds. Papa was right about taking time to learn the guitar. Thank the worlds. I'm too busy to call on the song lines tonight. But perhaps another day, when my legs don't hurt. I'm too busy to call on the song lines tonight. But perhaps another day, when the twin worlds became one, and decades of strife and unrest followed. Many perished, but it had to be so. Magic and science could not be divided forever. I haven't been back in decades. New Earth reminds me too much of friends long gone. But maybe I'll pay one last visit to those who remain. Some call it Starcadia. But not me, for it's a silly name. The complete history of the War of the Balance and the Reunification of Worlds. Volumes 1 to 13. I've yet to make it all the way through, I'm afraid. I helped Galath with the details while he was writing it. I was there to witness it all. At least Galath was able to complete it before he traveled on to the stars. It's an impressive achievement, that history. I really should read it one day. That's a tale for another occasion. That's a tale for another occasion.
Another memento.
Worlds like that one are jarring. Everything just slightly off. It's like it was designed to keep me on edge, and I have such a hard time understanding post-physicals. Worlds like that one are jarring. Everything just slightly off. It's like it was designed to keep me on edge, and I have such a hard time understanding post-physicals. She came to me when I was a child. She spoke to me, comforted me.
Is this the white dragon?
I believe we'll meet again. And maybe then the mysteries will become clear to me. The white dragon, April, me. Life's not a circle. It's a spiral. And there's an end to it, eventually. The Secret Lives of Stickman.
Okay.
Paths, ways, and songlines. Time is a spiral. Reincarnation for beginners. The House of All Worlds. My one and only book. And it is truly one book only. The Secret Lives of Stickman. I'll sit down and read later with a good cup of tea from a floating teacup. I'll sit down and read later.
Another memento, a keepsake.
The people of Stark got a sneak peek of what reunification would be like with the collapse. For most, it was not a pleasant experience. The people of Stark got a sneak peek of what reunification would be like with the collapse. For most, it was not a pleasant experience.
Just keep looking around to see if there's anything else to click on. Map of the multiverse.